The change of the season has inspired me to build an unusual type of scape. Hello everyone, this is Charles from the FishLoft. Let's build a haunted forest tank. I printed the image of a forest on a standard sheet of paper, taped onto a larger black sheet. The orange color will provide the spooky feeling I am going after. A mesh bag filled with aqua soil will provide nutrients for the plants. Black sand will cap it off and prevent too many nutrients to release into the water column. A slope in the sand will create a bit of depth. I want the back to be about 2 inches deep. The forest will be made of red moor driftwood. The driftwood was boiled repeatedly to release some of the tannins, and to ensure the driftwood would not float when I add the water. I have a separate video on driftwood and tannins if you want to learn more. I am placing large branches in the front and smaller branches in the back to create the illusion of depth. This is a good time to start adding some rocks that will lead the eye down the center of our forest. These are rocks I collected on daily walks. I cleaned them thoroughly and allowed them to dry out. I want to add the heater and filter now to make sure I leave room in the back for them to fit. The filter is filled with a coarse sponge, a mesh bag with biofilter stones, and topped with a water polishing pad. Before we fill the tank, I give it a quick mist to settle down the sand so it doesn't float when I add water. I have added water conditioner to my tap water, which will remove chlorine and any heavy metals. I like to run the water across my hand and down the side of the tank so it doesn't disturb the sand. Once it is almost full, it is time to add the plants. All of the plants chosen for the tank have a small leaf size to create a more realistic scale to the trees. I think these water ferns will look like real ferns you would see in a forest. Since they are epiphytes and you don't want to plant them in the soil, I used an aquarium-friendly glue to attach them to small stones. The next plants are flamingo cryptocorns, which will provide a little reddish color to the scape. Crypts generally do well in my tanks, but this variety is a little more fussy, so you just have to see how they settle in. Bucephalandra will provide a nice carpet look on the forest floor. I purchased this group already attached to a mesh. I have this spruce in my other tanks and it has grown really well. Some Java moss will help tie all the plants together and will help hide the heater and filter in the background. Some more thin branches will fill out the back of the forest. Anubias nanopetite that I previously glued to rocks will provide another texture to the forest floor. Now I want to add some branches to look like fallen trees and exposed tree roots. Some smaller rocks provide a bit of scale. Now to add the light. Well, that is starting to look a little bit spooky. I sort of like the hazy water, but that will clear up in a few days. Floating frog bed will resemble the forest canopy, and their long trailing roots provide some instant drama. Beneficial bacteria, along with some older filter media, will get the aquarium cycle started. I will let the tank establish for a few days, and during that time, I will make any other small adjustments to the layout. About 5 days later, my first inhabitants have arrived. I enjoy snails in my tanks, and these orange ram's horn snails will be perfect for the haunted forest. As soon as I dropped them in, they started exploring the tank. They haven't eaten for a few days while in transit, so I added a little fish food to the tank. The water has cleared up nicely, and all the plants are starting to settle in. The next day, the star occupant arrived. A black mamba samurai plakat beta. That's a mouthful to say. Well, he didn't waste any time exploring his new surroundings. I think he will enjoy swimming in and out of the forest branches. I originally envisioned this as a temporary seasonal tank, and I must confess, I may just keep this for a bit longer than expected. This scape was seriously fun to build. Let me know if you've built a similar type of tank or have ideas for future builds. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful or entertaining, please like and subscribe. See you next time for more from the FishLoft.